Hello viewers, this is your SSK and today we have an interesting story from Chandamama and the name of the story is The Clever Scholar. In the city of Balarampur, there lived a farmer called Valchand. He had two sons, Krishan and Sundar. Krishan looked after the fields and was a farmer like his father. But Sundar was eager to gather knowledge and he went out in search of a good teacher. He searched far and wide but did not find a suitable teacher. One day, as he was walking down a village street, he swooned in the street because he was worn out by hunger and the strain of walking so far in the hot sun. The house before which he fell belonged to a scholar called Rishikesh, who, on seeing the state of poor Sundar, had him carried inside. Sundar soon recovered and quietly acquainted the scholar of the reason for his travel. Rishikesh was struck by keenness of the youth and accepted him as one of his pupils. Sundar stayed there for 3 years and became well versed in all branches of knowledge. One day Rishikesh said to him, Sundar, I have taught you all that I know. Now you have yet to learn only one thing, that you will know from the tribesmen who live in yonder mountains. He will teach you all about stealing, tracking, and so on. Then Sundar bowed before his mentor and went to the tribesman from whom he learned all about thieving and tracking down thieves. After some time, he became adept at various arts and bidding goodbye to his teacher, wended his way home. On the way, he stopped to rest before a Brahmin's house who invited him to lunch. Here, Sundar related all that he had learned from his teachers. His host looked at him keenly and then said, Well, you say you have learned a lot. May I test your knowledge? Sundar nodded his head in agreement. The Brahmin said, Can you tell me who passed by this house a little while ago? Sundar got up and went into the street. Then he began to track the signs on the street. After a while, he came back to the Brahmin and said, I believe about 4 people passed by this way a short while ago. They must either be soldiers or government officials. Before them, another man carrying a bag of coal on his head went this way. He seems to have stolen something. The Brahman was amazed at the knowledge displayed by the Sundar. So he said, True. 4 soldiers were here at a little while ago. The queen had dropped her ruby necklace near the temple and someone has pinched it. The soldiers are hunting for the thief. That is why they are conducting a house to house search. You say that the thief passed before my house. If you can catch the thief, you will get a fat reward from the king. Sundar listened to all this very carefully and then went out. He followed the signs on the road and at last came to an goldsmith house. Then he returned to Brahmin's house and informed the latter that he had found the culprit. The surprised Brahmin ran to the soldiers and brought them back. Then he asked Sundar how he had found out the thief. Sundar replied, From the 4 pairs of footprints deeply outlined in the mud, I presumed that they belonged to wearers of army shoes. Then I saw a solitary pair of footprints just barely visible at the corner of the street ahead. Close to the impression, I saw a few pieces of coal scattered around. I also noticed that these footprints were slightly erased, then reformed again. From this, I deduced that whoever went ahead had stopped frequently to look back. Only a man in fear of the soldiers would do that. Besides, an honest man never walks along the edge of the road. Having said this, Sundar led the soldiers straight to the house of the goldsmith. The soldiers were rather doubtful of Sundar's information as they had searched this house earlier on and had found nothing. Sundar went inside and brushing aside the startled goldsmith, uncovered a bag of coal. Along with the pieces of coal, the glittering necklace of the queen also popped out. The goldsmith had hidden it in his bag of coal, thinking that no one would ever search there. But Sundar proved otherwise by his cleverness. The king was happy to hear the news of recovery of the necklace. He rewarded Sundar handsomely and appointed him to his court in a position of responsibility.